We're here with fourth-year head coach for the Monterey College football program, Mike Landers. Mike, good to see you.
See you, Greg.
We coming off the best season in Monterey College football history, making first postseason playoff appearance against Springfield. Impressive year. 6-5 overall, 5-2 of ECFC. You got to be excited for this year. What's your aspirations?
It starts with September 2nd for us. It's the process. That first game is the game that we're concentrating on right now at UMass Dartmouth, Friday night at their house. And what we're trying to do is we're just going to try to improve from week to week. And some of the things that we need to improve is, we have to be a working class team. We have to control the football and create turnovers. But for us, it's like being a fighter on the rise and facing some pretty good opponents. We have to work our game plans. We have to work the body and be a team that gives tremendous effort at all times. And the way that we play, we're going to play fast and try to put pressure on our opponents. It was nice going to a bowl game last year. It was nice getting more wins than we had in the past, but by all means, we're not satisfied with that at all. And to satisfy those needs, it starts with the first game on September 2nd.
A lot of kids had great seasons last year, but this season, obviously JB only get to play 5 games last year and that kind of thing. Who are we watching this year? Who's the player that is going to really hold the team together?
And we have some really good skilled players over there on the offensive side of the ball, and I think it always starts with the decision maker, Scotty Drozendahl. It's his 3rd year in the system. He's a little bit older. He's more mature. He understands where the ball needs to be delivered. And for him, it's understanding situations. The situations that the defense is trying to put him in, the situations that arise in the game, from down and distance to the time on the clock. So, I think it all starts with the decision maker as far as that's concerned. We're looking for Nikolic to have another great season for us. He's a receiver, a big body, he's aggressive, and he understands how to go up and get the football. And obviously having JB back is going to help us because I think like any team, we like to run the football. We like to control the clock, and then work off the run from there. But we have the ability to do a lot of things on the offensive side of the ball. But the thing that we need to concentrate on is not giving the ball to the other team, controlling the football.
Obviously, you've named some very important players on the offense. How critical is the line going to be for this year? And I don't know who's new and who's returning. So, what do you think? How's that going to play into the offense this season?
Well, if you want to run the football and you want to be a working class team and you want to play physical football, you need to be able to run the football. And our offensive line has done a good job thus far in camp, as far as understanding where they belong, their assignments, and now it's a matter of aggressively going after your assignments. But they're becoming a cohesive group, and that's the important thing. But it's very difficult to run an offense if you can't block people up front. So they're going to be a tough group of kids, and that's what they're going to have to be.
Moving on to the defense, you lost a few kids. Safety, a couple safeties, 2 really important players for the team. What's the role of that going to play? I know AJ Nibbs coming back, great player, had a great season and moving positions. Where's that going to play?
Well, the thing about the defense, Greg, is everyone has to do their job. Offensively, if someone doesn't do their job, you can get away with it, or it's a tackle for a loss, but you get another down. Someone doesn't do their job or it doesn't end up in their right fit on defense, it's a touchdown. The defensive backs have done an excellent job, and right now they're one of the strengths of our team, not just from a physical standpoint and a focus standpoint, but from a leadership standpoint. And for us right now, we're in the process of understanding that we have to play fast, we have to play physical football, and we need to know where our fits are, where we belong. We need to do our job, and that's the process right now. And we put an emphasis on creating turnovers. I don't think that's any different than any other football team in America. But that's our emphasis. Do our job, run to the football, play physical football, and try to create turnovers as much as possible.
I know you don't like to single kids out, but who on the defense is obviously AJ we talked about, but is there someone else in your mind that you hope to have a good year? Who you need to watch for? And
I hope they all have a good year. But I think AJ Nibbs he's growing and maturing. Last year was the first year that he's ever played the position of defensive line, so there's a lot of things still to improve in and get better. But he's definitely, he allows us to rip an edge, to have good edge pressure. Mike Brockenberry is now in his third year. If he continues to grow, he can be an outstanding football player for us at the linebacker position. Mac Charles is a senior, playing corner, got significant time at the corner position, started a lot of games there for us. So, he understands his fit and his role. John Proto, our 3 technique on the defensive line, is a big body and very good at gap control. But it ultimately, they all have to do their job and play fast. And we've got some guys rising up in the defensive backfield, Frank Green, and Azim Carter at the strong safety position. But ultimately, it's a unit. It isn't any single player that's going to make an impact for us. They need to work together. And they need to be fierce in their pursuit of the football. And they really need to create turnovers. Understand the importance of the most important thing on the football field is the football itself. Let's take it back. Don't let the offense play with our football. It's our football. So that's the mindset that we're trying to develop right now. We have a lot of work to do though.
Now we've heard about returning players and stuff like that on both sides of the ball. Is there one specific new player that has come in here that we're really going to be impressed with, that we're really going to be, want to watch as he, progresses this season?
It's early in camp.
Yeah.
We get some guys that are doing a good job and they're competing for positions, but it's difficult to say because it's open tryouts. No one really has their job. All those guys that I mentioned, they do a good job, but they understand that every time we recruit, we're trying to recruit their replacements right now. So I think it's a process. It's like anything. The young guys are trying to learn the system on offense and defense. They're trying to compete right away. We're going to put them in positions to compete and see how they react to those pressure situations. And the older guys know that they have to continue to progress from last year. What they did last year wasn't good enough. Every practice is an opportunity to get better. Every rep is an opportunity to get better. And you either work to get better or you waste that. So it's difficult right now. Every position is open. You're either getting hired or fired on a rep. So from rep to rep, it's a job interview. Until we come to that precious day on September 2nd when we actually get to play.
I'm going to move on from the team and start talking just a bit. I just wanted your thoughts on, we're going into our third year in ZCFC. Really competitive conference. I feel like we've really put a name for ourselves out there. And I know it's not enough for you, but where do you see us this year in the ECFC? Who's going to be your strongest opponent? And kind of what do you think we'll map out from there?
We're still a young conference, and we're still trying to prove ourselves as a conference that's worthy of playing some of the other bigger conferences that have been established for a while. I think it's important for our conference in our non-conference games to go and show the style of football that we play and how competitive we are. As far as who do we foresee as our big challenges, we're our big challenge. If we go out there and we don't do the things that we're supposed to, we don't play the game the way that it's supposed to with a tremendous amount of effort, then we won't win. So from week to week, every week's a challenge for us. If we go out and do the things that we're supposed to, we're going to put ourselves in a position to compete for a win. So it's still, we're not exactly where we want to be as a football family right now. And every day that we're going to work towards that. So every week is big. We get 10 games. We get 10 games to try to get in 11. So every game's important.
Well, Mike, I appreciate the time, and good luck this season.
I appreciate it, Greg. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Mike. Thanks.